like to welcome all family, friends here. It was very nice for your support in this time. Carl Joseph Chipetti. Carl is many things: a husband, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, a card shark, a singer. Martha says he was a wizard, and our dad. He was many things to many people, and if you ask anyone here, he touched each person differently. Dad was married twice. He was with Althea for 27 years and with Marilyn for 25. He had 10 children, 3 stepchildren, 20 grandchildren, 8 grandchildren, with 2 more on the way. This meant that Dad was entwined with 41 circles of life and creating 41 different experiences. If you ask us to describe him, it would be difficult because each of us had our own relationship with him. This does not begin to mention Carl's brothers and sisters, their families, our spouses and loved ones, his and our friends, and all the other people he had the opportunity to meet and be with. Truly, he had 1,000 points of light pass through him. With Dad, it did not take a village, he built his village. So who is Carl? I know he was an athlete. For example, he was the only person that I knew or saw with the ability to take 2 swinging strikes and then hit a home run on one single pitch coming to him. Baseball was his favorite game, and he liked to play and hand out a mean hot corner. Carl was a crossword enthusiast. He also enjoyed a good card game. Pinochle and Sheepshead were his favorites. He was a very patient teacher with us, but he easily took our pennies as kids, if not only for the sake of a lesson, but to have some change in his pocket. So, Dad liked to give advice, and his top 3 pieces of advice were, number 1, never walk away from trouble, run. And he said that to me many times. You can have all the credit, just give him all the money. And then long through and short to the picker. If you play Sheepshead, you should know this one. He was also fascinated and liked the English language nuances. For example, he liked homophones. Why do we spell a word in the same way, yet but apply different pronunciations and meanings? For example, bow and bow. Along with the English language, Dad loved puns. Yo-Yo had some of his favorite ones. And to mention a couple was always go to the other people's funerals, or otherwise they will not go to yours. 90% of the game is half mental. But his personal favorite one was nobody goes there anymore. It is too crowded. But Dad even created his own play on words. If he said he ever owned a business, he would like to name it a Arrivederci. Because you know, this means it's a goodbye. Dad loved to celebrate life. When I was a young boy, I remember at my sister Mary's wedding reception, him walking into the St. Alphonsus Hall, dancing with a big spring in his step, and grabbing any woman around him and twirling them on the dance floor. Another fond memory is when he would turn off the car radio and have us all sing instead. Now, none of us were in any of the family Von Trapp, but we enjoyed it. He would also get up on Sunday mornings and help us deliver the Sunday paper. He was a unanimous selection when it came to chaperoning my Boy Scout trips. And the main reason is because we knew we could run and get away with anything. So he would help his granddaughter, Lydia, with the ride to work if she was late. Lydia was always anxious, and she would say and ask him to hurry up. He was going 15 miles below the speed limit. And he would laugh and just tell her, to tell her employer that her grandpa drove her. And they would understand, and they did. I remember when he would meet new boyfriends or girlfriends of the grandkids. One famous time he liked to interrogate them, and he really put a hot light to one of the people. Randy, have you recovered from that one? I hope so. Dad had a way with little kids. I remember when he would give them his famous mungy mungy. This is where he would take his 5 o'clock shadow and rub innocent little cheeks on it, and all you would hear is the sound of little laughter. But the greatest time with Dad, for me, and others, were when we were able to beat him in sheepshead. Remember, he taught us. So when he would pick and we'd win, he'd mentally play each hand out to see if we misplayed. But it was always satisfaction when he had to pay double on the ball and reach in and give us the cash. So we had coin in our own pocket. Thank you, Dad, for the lessons. Finally, I would like to leave you with Dad's favorite question or argument. He always pondered this one, and maybe you will too. Does a shadow have mass? Think about that one. We've had many arguments and discussions about that. So, arrivederci, Dad. May you have a granny hand. Arrivederci. May you have a granny hand with the angels, and may they never mower. Thank you.
Thanks, Mario. We'll begin with our opening hymn. If you please rise.